Imagine waking up tomorrow without the weight of proving yourself to anyone, no desperate need to impress, no silent fear of being overlooked, no constant battle to earn validation from people. Most people still fail to realize the person who masters their inner world becomes untouchable by the chaos of the outer one. And in today's video, we're going to explore how stoic discipline can transform your life from the inside out, not through shortcuts or empty motivation, but through principles that build real confidence, lasting peace, and unshakable clarity. Because the truth is, most people are exhausted, not from hard work, but from mental noise, constantly reacting. Discipline was freedom, because the undisciplined mind is controlled by impulse. One bad mood can ruin an entire day. One criticism can destroy confidence. One setback can lead to quitting altogether. Without discipline, we become servants to emotion, pulled in every direction by temporary feelings. But Stoicism reminds us that emotions are visitors, not commanders. You don't have to obey every thought that enters your mind. You don't have to react to every frustration, every temptation, or every insult. True strength is found in restraint, in the ability to pause before reacting when others lose control. This kind of discipline doesn't happen overnight. It is built through daily practice, through choosing growth when comfort feels easier, through staying committed when motivation disappears, through doing what is right, even when nobody is watching. And perhaps most importantly, discipline teaches you to trust yourself, because every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your character, while every promise broken weakens it. The Stoics knew that self-respect cannot be purchased or inherited. It is earned through consistent action. So ask yourself honestly, can you stay focused without external pressure? Can you continue forward even when progress feels slow? Because the quality of your life will always reflect the quality of your discipline. Mastering the mind. Most battles in life are won or lost long before they ever appear in the external world. They begin in the mind. This is why Stoicism places such enormous importance on perception. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Think about that carefully. Your repeated thoughts become your identity. If your mind is filled with fear, resentment, and negativity, your life will eventually mirror those emotions. But if your mind becomes grounded in clarity, gratitude, and purpose, your entire experience of life begins to transform. The Stoics understood that we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control how we interpret it. This is one of the most powerful realizations a person can have, because suffering is often amplified, not by events themselves, but by the stories we attach to them. A delay becomes failure. A rejection becomes worthlessness. A mistake becomes proof that we're incapable. Yet none of these interpretations are objectively true. They are judgments, and judgments can be changed. This is why Stoicism encourages us to observe our thoughts without immediately believing them, to challenge them, to ask, is this thought helping me or harming me? When you learn to separate reality from emotional exaggeration, you gain something rare: mental freedom. Suddenly, you stop taking everything personally. You stop catastrophizing problems. You stop allowing small inconveniences to control your peace. Instead, you develop a calm mind, a steady mind, navigating chaos without becoming consumed by it. And in today's world, that ability is priceless. Learning to stand alone. One of the greatest fears people carry is the fear of being alone, not physically alone, but emotionally alone, without constant reassurance, without someone telling them they are enough. Because from an early age, many of us are taught to measure our worth through external attention. We seek acceptance, like survival depends on it. But Stoicism teaches something radically different. Your value does not increase because someone praises you, and it does not decrease because someone ignores you. Your worth exists independently of public opinion. This realization is incredibly liberating, because once you stop needing constant validation, you become emotionally free. You no longer shape your personality to fit into every room. You no longer abandon your values. To avoid criticism, you no longer feel destroyed when someone misunderstands you. Instead, you begin to stand firmly in your own truth. This doesn't mean becoming cold or disconnected from others. The courage to accept reality, perhaps the hardest Stoic lesson, is acceptance, not passive surrender, but honest acceptance of reality as it is. Many people suffer deeply because they resist reality. They replay the past endlessly. They demand certainty from an uncertain world. They fight against change, as if life should obey their personal expectations. But reality does not negotiate. People change. Circumstances shift. Loss happens. Failure happens. Uncertainty is unavoidable. And the more we resist these truths, the more pain we create for ourselves. Stoicism teaches us to stop arguing with reality and instead work with it wisely. Acceptance doesn't mean liking everything that happens. It means refusing to waste energy denying what already exists, because only when we accept reality can we respond to it effectively. This is where resilience is born, not in comfort, but in adaptation. The Stoics believed that adversity reveals character. Hardship exposes what comfort often hides, your patience, and while suffering is never pleasant, it often becomes the greatest teacher, if you're willing to learn from it. Closing reflection. As we come to the end of today's journey, remember this: Stoicism is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming stronger, wiser, and more peaceful, one day at a time. It's about building a life that is rooted not in external chaos, but in internal stability. A life where your happiness doesn't collapse every time circumstances change. A life where your peace comes from character rather than control. The world will always remain uncertain. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Difficult seasons will arrive. But through Stoicism, you learn something extraordinary. You learn that even in the middle of chaos, you can still choose wisdom over reaction, growth over bitterness, and peace over fear. Thank you for spending this time with me here today. The strongest person is not the one who controls the world around them, but the one who has learned to master themselves. If this video gave you something to reflect on, like it, share it, and subscribe for more.